guys, welcome to this fun video. This video is all about how I plan my meals for a day. So this is based on the fact that, or an understanding rather, that you already understand macros, that you are working with specific macros that I or another coach have given you, and you're just trying to get a better understanding of how to take the macros that you've been given and create a day of meals using them. So let's get started. So first and foremost, let's talk about the macros. So to explain this a little bit better, I have a coach that gives me macros. Even though I'm a coach that gives other people macros, it is really helpful to always have a coach, right? Like I have a coach, my coach has a coach, her coach even has a coach. So we all need somebody to kind of hold us accountable and help us to, reach our goals. So these are my macros right now. They are always changing. So I've had clients that think that your macros are just like a one-time thing, and that you get them and then that's just like what you do forever. But you actually are always kind of adjusting and tweaking your macros depending on your goals. So right now I'm still working with a little bit of a caloric deficit. I'm still trying to lose a little weight. So these are the macros I'm working with right now. And if I'm able to, maintain the weight loss, I might be able to slowly start to increase my macros a little bit. But it really just depends on, how I progress. So I'm going to be working with my training day macros because I'm going to be lifting tomorrow. So as you can see, it's broken down by the macros: protein, carbs, fat, and then 5 different meals for the day. You do not have to do 5 meals for the day, but this is what works for me. And for a lot of people, this is what I give to my clients as well. So I have my pre-workout meal, my post-workout meal 3, 4, and 5. I know that tomorrow I am not going to be lifting until the afternoon, so I'm going to use meal 3 as my first meal of the day, and then I'm going to have my pre-workout, post-workout, a 4th meal, and then the 5th meal, which is always fluff, of course. So as you can see, my carbs are higher for my workouts, and then they decrease as the day goes on. My fats are lower for the workouts, and then they increase as the day goes on. This is because you want to use those carbohydrates to fuel your workout and to help your muscles grow and recover. And the fat doesn't really play a part in that, so we just keep it low so that we can then use the fat later in the day when the carbs get lower to keep us feeling full. We can always, dive deeper into the theory behind all of that another time. So once you have your macros, you go into MyMacros Plus and you start planning out your meals for the day. So usually I like to start with my fluff because that's the simplest. It's almost the same every single time. So I'll start with my fluff and then I kind of build from there. I know that I'm going to want to have a salad for my last meal of the day. So I build out my salad, usually copying and pasting something from the day before. And then I think about what I want to eat after I work out and before I work out, and then what I want my first meal of the day to be. And as you can see, I'm just trying to total at the bottom of each meal. The protein, carbs, and fat are more or less the same as what my coach had written out for me. And this just makes sure that I'm using my macros to my benefit and getting the most out of every single gram of food that I'm eating. And everything is really sparsed out throughout the day. So ideally I won't feel really hungry at any point, which is another reason I like to eat smaller meals throughout the day. And then at the bottom, you can see kind of how you did in terms of totaling up all of your macros and ideally getting it like almost perfect, which is kind of just like a fun game to play, in my opinion. It's like a little puzzle. But I'm mostly just copying and pasting these meals from other days, so it's pretty simple. So I input my meals into my macros the day before, no matter what. Tomorrow I happen to have a really busy day where I actually want to make all my meals ahead of time so I can bring them to the gym with me. because I'm gonna be out of the house all day. But even if I wasn't, if I was gonna be home all day, I would still have those meals in my macros planned out, even if I'm just gonna make them as I eat, because then I don't have to think about anything tomorrow. And there's no chance of me thinking in the moment, being hungry and just eating what's convenient because I don't want to make the food. It's like, nope, this is what I planned. It's easy. I just follow it. I don't have to think about anything. So I think it's really important practice to just plan your meals the day before, every day. And again, you can just copy and paste things really easily, so it doesn't have to always be this very overwhelming thing. And I always recommend just keeping things like as simple as possible to start. You'll notice some of my meals, there's a lot involved, but that's because I've been doing this for like almost 2 years. So I'm pretty used to the work that kind of goes into it. So I prep all my food individually and then piece my meals together. So I don't make like a big batch of something. Instead, I have like tomatoes and onions cut up in this container, and then I have chicken that I've made here. This is a coleslaw that I made, and I used the recipe builder on MyMacros to put the coleslaw together and weigh it out. And then like I made asparagus yesterday, so that's separate. So I keep everything separate and then put it together as needed, which just helps me to kind of, keep track of all the macros and everything a little bit better. So I'm going to take you guys through just one meal, just so you can see like how I weigh things out and everything. And that'll be it. And then obviously you guys let me know if you have questions about anything. So I'm going to make my salad, which is going to be my meal for tomorrow. So I've got spinach, coleslaw, chicken, oil and vinegar, some feta cheese, and I think that's it, and some onions. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so you're gonna start with your container on your scale, and you wanna hit tare to start at 0. And then for salad, I always start with the spinach first. So I'm gonna weigh out the spinach. I like to put a lot of spinach in just to have a lot of volume. So this is about 70 grams of spinach. So that's that. And then you can tare as you go, or you can like add things up. It's kind of up to you. So I am going to just keep it here now because all I'm gonna do is add 1 gram of olive oil. An awesome trick that I learned from my coach is to use a spray. It really, like, you don't need a lot of olive oil at all in your salads. And a lot of times we really, we don't realize how much fat we're adding into our meals just with olive oil or dressings. So that has been kind of a game changer for me. So I'm just gonna kind of spray olive oil on here. Cool. 1 gram. So amazing. And then I am going to add some vinegar. I really like this vinegar from Trader Joe's. However, you can obviously use whatever you want. Apple cider vinegar, balsamic. And then I'm going to do about 10 grams of vinegar. I'm just tearing it because I'm not the best mathematician. So this way I can just see when it gets to 10. Perfect. And then I'm gonna season it, obviously. Give some salt and pepper, which obviously you don't need to track your seasonings. And seasoning your food is such a game changer. If you're not seasoning your food, you're missing out. Okay, so I just kind of stirred that all together. And then I'm going to add this coleslaw that I made. So this is just, you can't really see it that well, but it's just like red or purple cabbage, carrots, and onions basically. And then like a little vinaigrette that I made. So I really like this because it doesn't involve dairy and it adds a really nice punch to your salad. So I'm doing 100 grams of this guy. And I, again, like I said earlier, I made this using the recipe builder so that I know exactly what I'm putting in here. And that is probably a video for another time, but the recipe builder is a really great resource. Getting this to 100, there we go. All right, and then next up is gonna be my chicken. I recently have been, if you have an Instant Pot, my new favorite thing is I'll get chicken breast and sear it on the bottom. So I'll get both sides like nice and crispy, and then I cook it in the pressure cooker, and it comes out like perfect every single time. It's just crazy to me. All right, so I just cut up my chicken and got about 70 grams of chicken going in here. Also, I mean, just like how good does that look? Oh my God. It's coming from a former vegetarian too. Okay. And then the only other thing we have left is cheese and onions. So I'm adding some feta cheese to this. I try not to have like a lot of dairy, but for salads, I feel like it's just such a nice little treat to throw in there. And I put in the app that I was gonna do 20 grams of this, but I just realized I don't have a lot left, so we might not be getting to 20 grams. Let's see what we get. Oh no, we only got 10 there. So not the end of the world. I might just add like a few pistachios if I think I need more fat. I'll reevaluate when I look at the my app again, but not a huge deal. And then last but not least, just gonna throw some onions in here. So this is actually a red onion jam that I made. Again, using the recipe builder. This was a really simple recipe. Literally just like cooked down the onions with some balsamic vinegar, and I used a little monk fruit sweetener instead of real sugar. And it just adds a really nice amount of flavor to your meals. So that's it. I've got my salad all prepped for tomorrow, and I'm going to go ahead and make all my other meals for tomorrow, except for the fluff that I'll eat at home. And again, I don't do this every single day. I do plan my meals every single day. I don't make them the day before all the time, although it is really convenient. Even if I am home, if I do have all my meals ready to go, I'm much more likely to stick to the plan as opposed to, you know, be sitting around at home and be like, oh, well, I know I planned this really healthy thing, but you know, this other thing just sounds so much easier, and that's what I want right now. I don't feel like making the salad, you know? So if and when you can, I always recommend making your food ahead of time so that in that moment, you can make the better choice for yourself. So I hope that this was helpful. If you have questions, you can always reach out to me, leave a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this about using MyMacros or planning meals or meal prep or any of that, just let me know, and I can do that for you guys. Thanks so much for checking out my video.